Operating a camera in the outdoors, particularly in remote locations, can present a few challenges. It can lead you to ask questions such as, why is my lens fogged up? Why are my fresh batteries already dead? Why is my back hurt? And why am I 3Ks up a mountain with 2 tripods and no base plate? Fortunately for you, I have some hard-learnt solutions to these questions. Here's the stuff I don't use. Lens caps, monitors, V-lock lighting systems, gimbals, pack cubes. All of this stuff absolutely has its place within the filming world, but personally, I prefer to try and get creative with nothing but the bare essentials when working in the field. Also, drones. In New South Wales, you can't use drones in the national park without permission, and although it's very tempting, I'm happy to skip the drone shot if it means that I can go for a peaceful hike without a flock of robot birds interrupting the serenity. There's plenty of opportunities for drone footage outside of the park, so in Kosciuszko, the drone stays in the vehicle. Doing this is also good encouragement to get better shots while working from the ground. I personally like Nikon cameras, but here at Tom's, Pat and I use Sony's. Full frame mirrorless Sony's to keep the size and weight down without compromising video quality. We both really like using camera cages with a handle, which is great for attaching a shotgun or lav mic and means you can comfortably keep the camera by your side all day while you're shooting. When it comes to lenses, the temptation to take every lens you've ever owned is very real. Break this temptation. You'll need 2 lenses maximum, a wide and a long lens. And if you happen to have a nice zoom that does both, just take that. Changing lenses in the field isn't ideal, but I'll definitely do it, which leads me to sensor cleaning swabs. I've come back from plenty of trips with ruined footage due to dust on the sensor, most likely from the lens changing process, but the easy solution is to keep a couple of sensor cleaning swabs in your kit. But definitely be careful doing this in the field and try to do it somewhere sheltered so you don't add more dust. With batteries, my opinion is to take every one you have with you and endeavour to get even more. You'd rather be looking at them than looking for them, as they say. Returning from a shoot with unused batteries is a bonus. And the same goes with SD cards. I use a waterproof SD case to fight snow, water, dust, etc. A good habit to get into is formatting and backing up all your cards before you even leave. This way there's no stress or confusion when you're under the pump and need to change a card at a crucial time. I'd recommend taking a small light tripod even if you think you might not need it. Unfortunately, in most cases, light plus stable equals expensive. Otherwise, use the tripod you have and just accept that you're going to sweat a little more on that hill climb. If you remember only one thing from this video, it's to double check that you've got your tripod base plate. I recently forgot my tripod base plate after a long climb and had to resort to using backpack straps to cinch my camera down, which technically did work but was far from ideal. I'm now taken to leaving my base plate on the camera at all times, which is semi-inconvenient, but I don't quite trust myself. Now for the stuff I do use. I generally take my Mystery Ranch backpack on all shooting trips away from the ute. It's a great hunting backpack, but equally good for backcountry filming trips. Being so heavily padded allows me to carry all my usual camping gear, plus a good few kilos of extra camera gear and tripods. There's a place for everything and access is easy, and it cinches down pretty well for shorter day trips too. Before I started using the top handle, I used to use the Hyperlight camera pod as a chest rig. Adding the handle meant that the camera wouldn't fit anymore, so I then just used it as a pouch to hold a second lens, batteries and cards. It's a great option for holding a stripped down camera, but I've since moved on to the Mystery Ranch Bino harness. As the name suggests, it's made for binoculars, but I've found it super useful for easy access card and battery storage. It comes with its own harness for when you're not using your backpack, otherwise you can just clip it onto your pack straps or waist belt. It's not big enough to fit a second lens, but if I'm taking 2, the second just lives in the brain of my pack in a dry bag. No matter where I'm going, I'll always carry a couple of Cedar Summit dry bags. Between these and a down jacket that I rarely hike without, I've never found the need for a camera cube. When I'm shooting from a powerboat, drift boat or pack raft, I also like to use the Yeti Go boxes. There's no real padding, but they're pretty much indestructible and super quick to access your gear. Also, if no lens cap seems reckless, the reason I go with that is because I always have at least a UV filter and sometimes a polarizing filter, which acts as a great buffer between your lens and the world. Cold weather and a foggy lens can easily ruin a shoot. Lens fog or even sensor fog tends to happen when your lenses transition from a nice warm temperature inside your tent or your vehicle to the chilly temps outside. When you're tent camping in winter, especially in snow, my solution is to leave my camera and lenses inside a dry bag, either outside my tent on the ground or in a tree, or in my tent's vestibule where my body heat won't affect it, keeping them at around about the same temperature as the outdoors. With that said, the opposite will be the case with your batteries. Camera batteries tend to drain in cold weather, so I always keep them in my pockets or inside my jacket during the day and in my sleeping bag at night. Capturing the landscapes of Kosciuszko is an absolute privilege, and a process that I definitely don't get right every time. At the end of the day, I try not to take more than this small kit here. Sometimes doing what you can with what you've got forces you to think outside of the box and discover new ways to get the shot.